Hey everybody, welcome back to my RC life. Today, the re-maxx gets some more upgrades. Let's go! Hey, what's going on everybody? Traxxas Mike coming at you this morning. Well, it's morning here right now. I got to get these new stub axles installed onto the re-maxx. We are running the original ones that came on this truck. And this truck is a couple years old now, and they are whooped, let me tell you. So let's get into tearing this thing apart. I'm going to start by getting the tires off. Sometimes these tires can come off pretty hard. This one was just loose yesterday, so that one kind of came off pretty easy, but sometimes they come off of that hex really hard. You got to really tug on them. Like this one is being for us. There we go. And this one too. Holy cow, them suckers get stuck on there. Okay, let's get this last tire off. Oh man, these things come off hard as a rock. There we go. If you put the tires right underneath the A-arms there rather than like the middle section, when they're on the middle section, it tends to rock back and forth a lot. But you put them right underneath the A-arms, and it's more stable. Oh, I hear my oven beeping. I gotta go get my mini tacos. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do is we gotta get those things there removed, those little clips. Okay, I'm just gonna put my screwdriver behind it. Now I put my thumb like this so it don't fling and fly up. Just pop her off like that. And sometimes these hexes can come off hard. You just get your screwdriver behind there. Bam, they come off just like that. All right, then we got to take off top bolt here. Just a pin keeper. I like to keep the bolt for that keeper right in there so I don't mix it up with any other bolts. And you pull that out. And you're going to want to pull one bolt out of your tie rod. All right, and that just gives you room to move that back and forth. Then you got a 2 millimeter on the bottom here. Same deal, and a pin keeper. And then a pin comes out just like on the top. I think these are the same size, yes. Okay, then this whole thing will slide out just like this. And it's a good time to inspect your dog bones. You're going to want to check out your bearings and everything as well. You're just going to take this and shove on this, It should pop right out. If it don't, you might have to tap it lightly with a hammer or whatever. Okay, now we got to get this bearing off from this shaft. And mine are going to come off hard because on a good one, this hole should be nice and round or whatever, and the bearing will slip over top of it really nicely. But you'll see when I get this one off, the shape that mine's in. I like to open up my vise like this. Open up wide enough so the red part is loose in there, but the bearing doesn't fit in there. Just like that. And then you tap on the hammer right here, and it'll knock that bearing off. You don't want to mess up your threads if you're going to be reusing them. Okay, so we got that bearing off, and you can see mine were in dire need of replacement. See how bad? It ain't a hole, it's a whole slot. So every time I would nail the gas, it would go. And then it'd hit the brake and go back this way. It had all kinds of play back and forth. But only reason it didn't fall out is because that bearing would slide over top and hold everything together. But it still had tons of room, and it just sounded horrible. This pin is just going to slide out. Whoa! It almost fell apart in my hands. Yeah, because this pin won't even slide in. I wonder if these were bigger axle stubs. I don't know. Okay, so I went and dug through my care pack and found the pins that will slide right in here. And they measure 118 thousandths. Now these ones even wore out. You can see all the grooves and stuff in them. They are measuring 135 or 34 thousandths, and they're wore out. So I'm going to guess that these red ones had a bigger size pin in them. Oh, you know what? That means I got to find new centers as well. These new center pieces right here, these things that slide out. Because this one goes in there nice, and this one's going to be all wobbly. We can't have that. So I either need to go in my care pack and find a whole new set of axles, or just them pins. So back to the care packs. Well, I found a full set of pins with these middle pieces as well. I don't know. I'm debating whether I should change these or not. I mean, this end's in decent shape. It's starting to wear, but, you know. And then this end just got a little bit of wear right there. It's wallering out onto one side. Now, to reassemble, you're just going to put your new piece back in your axle. Ooh, you know what? Even these black things I think are a different size. I think I will have to change out all the axles. Okay, this brand new one, we are getting 196 thousandths. The old one is 215 thousandths. So yeah, I wonder if these were for a 6S. These, and the smaller pins. And that would mean the axles have different holes bored in them. It looks like we're back to the care package. I'm so glad I got these parts, man. So glad. Okay, so I went to the care pack and we got 4 brand new axles now, 4 brand new pins, and 4 brand new out drives. We're going all out with this. Only other thing that I could be doing is changing these inner deals here, and they could probably use it. I got some new ones on the shelf. Plus I received some in the care package, but I'm not going to get into that right now. So now everything's going to fit correctly. So you slide this into there, line your pin up so it's accessible there. Stick this bad guy in. Shove it right on through there. Sometimes it might be a little bit tight fitting. Okay, the pin should be, you know, just below that surface, and then when you put your bearing in, that's what holds it in. Just like that. Then you simply just need to reassemble. Stick your dog bone part up in there. Just like so. This bearing's got like some crap missing, like some rubber missing off in it and stuff, so it don't feel bad, but I got a ton of new ones and I hate for this thing to slang a bearing out at the dune, so we're gonna go grab a new one. Okay, we got this whole pile of bearings in that care pack. I'm just gonna go ahead and replace any of them that look questionable at all. Alright, got that in there. I got these brand new ones right here. Okay, so that's in there. Then this is just going to go in just like that. Bam! Now it's just a reassembly. You got to get your dog bone lined up in there like so. Okay, and once that's in there, you take your long hinge pins. This is a good time to lube up your little holes here. There we go. And then we got a hinge pin on the bottom. I think instead of spraying this up in there, because it kind of attracts dust, I'm just going to spray some on my rag and then just roll the pin in it. New hex. Slide this thing back on. The Jesus clip. It's called a Jesus clip because when they go ping and go flying in the air, you say, "Oh Jesus, where did that go?" Put our bolt back through the tie rod. There. One front side is done. Time to go to the other front side. See, that fell right out of that tie rod. Very easy. So I think I'll replace a tie rod while we're at it. Bam, that's all in. See, I didn't replace this tie rod end, but only thing it's going to do is it could pop out of there and just make the steering a little bit sloppy, but whatever. I'm on a time crunch today. I got to go see my aunt. I guess I could have sent Casey down to go get the controller out of the car so we could have fired it up. The reason what stopped me is because I can't get to this bolt. I need to turn it so it comes out this way. And I can't manually turn it because this servo's got a lot of torque. It's just squishing the servo saver when I do it. I can't get this in there to get that bolt out. But I will make sure I bring a spare one of these when I go to Silver Lake tomorrow. Okay, tie rod on. Put the Jesus clip on. Okay. Wheel X. All right, that one's... Oh, wait. I can't believe I did that. I thought it looked a little funny. That don't go on there. That goes on here on the outside. I thought it felt like it slipped on awfully easy. But there is a groove back there that'll fit on. There, that's better. Now on to the back two. Now there's a bolt right here and right here. I think we only need to take one out. Easier to work with and easier to show you guys stuff. Take them two bolts out. I'm going to go ahead and pop these off before I pull my pins out, in case the hex comes off hard, because when you got the pins out and you're trying to pry this hex and this whole thing's moving, it's kind of hard. Why them pins are still in place, if this is hard to get off, like this one is, it's not flopping around so much. Okay, that's off now. Then with your pins, I just grab an Allen wrench. Nope, it's got to be a certain size. It's got to be kind of a small one. I used the 1.5 millimeter. See, it's got this small little hole, and you just push, and you push your pin right out. Okay, same for the bottom one. Then this whole thing will pop right out. I have a third new axle. And from front to back, left to right, these don't matter. They're all the same. New axle, new inner piece, new stub, new pin. New bearing on the back, new bearing on the front. Slide this bad daddy in there. You want to make sure it's slid forward enough to where that gap is showing. That's where I put the Jesus clip, and it's actually supposed to go here. But you can see where I made the mistake. Slide that on, put the Jesus clip on. You can do this when it's in the truck or when it's out. Might be easier to do when it's in the truck, I don't know. Might be easier to do when it's out of the truck, but I've done it both ways to show you guys it can be done both ways. Alright, slide that dog bone in. Now we're going to slide the axle or slide the hinge pins in. Well, these ones won't stick out. They don't have a bearing or a pin keeper on them like the front ones did from the top and the bottom. They just had a nut or a bolt for the hinge pin keeper. You see what that does? It just, the half of the head of that bolt just touches that so the pin can't be pushed out. Okay, that one's done. Now we got the second one on the rear. Oh, see, sometimes these hinge pins won't come out very easy. If they don't, you may have to get a hammer and tap on this, or grab that with pliers. Vice grips work well. Grab them and twist it back and forth. And that's why we oil them up. Basically, the axles are all rebuilt now, which should make it ride out a little smoother. Less friction is always a good thing. It's going to squeak and creak a lot less. Possibly even going to make our battery run time a little bit more. Less friction, less heat, less demand on that battery. Okay. All right, got that all together. Now, since this one did come out of here so hard, I am gonna put a little bit of grease on the inside of those as well. There, now they slid in nice and easy. Now for the final step, and maybe the best step of all, the X-Maxx J8 adapters, so we can get these X-Maxx J8 tires onto this X-Maxx. Now on these lug nuts, I am going to use this brand new special one rather than just putting that low C tool on there, because I mean, it'll go on, but I just don't want to round them off. I want to use this. It just fits a little tighter. These are going to be going back. If I put them on this side, it's going to be going forward. So yeah, they are kind of directional. So I think I want these treads, I don't want them going backwards like this, so that means this is going to need to go on this side. So these are for the left side, that one's for the left side of the vehicle. This would be a right side tire. And you can put them on either way, it's fine, I'm sure. And this is where the adapter comes into play. See how there's that slop there? Well, this lip there fills in that slop. And we got 2 silver ones and 2 gray ones. Some people may be picky and not like that, but hey, I'm not that picky. Oh, this is looking sweet. Okay, on. Make sure you got your direction correct. Okay, that one's nice and tight. But you know what? I just noticed this gray one must have been put on the rim opposite. So really, I'm going to have one backwards tire. I got power tools. I just need to quit being lazy and just do it. It ain't going to take me but a few minutes to get this tire switched around. Unless it's glued. I hope it ain't glued. I'm thinking it probably won't be. Cool, it's not glued. Pop your rings off. Now I can take this tire, pop it off. There, I've already flipped it around. Go ahead and pop it back together now. Let's see, is that going to be correct? Yes, it's going to be correct.
Nice.
Yes, it does look good, doesn't it, son?
It sure does.
And you pop, these got to be just outside of here, so your bead lock can bolt it down tight against the rubber. And you can see the tire's got a groove cut in it as well for those to fit perfectly right there. And you can look on the inside of your rim to make sure it's seated properly. Okay, and you go over, make sure there's no gaps. Perfect. Now, this tire is in the same direction as all the other ones. All right, guys, that thing looks mean with those tires on there. Look at the stance on the old girl. Oh yeah, this thing looks sweet now. Oh man, I mean, I do wish the fronts and the backs were matching tires, but I don't care. It's fine with me. All right, guys, so that thing's ready for Silver Lake. If you want to see it run with the new tires and everything new on it, you're going to have to stay tuned for a Silver Lake video. So, until then, I'm Traxxas Mike.
And I'm Casey Chaos.
From My RC Life. And I'll see you later.
Bye,
Bye, guys.